Hello online viewers, welcome to our CAD tutorial. In this CAD tutorial, I'll be explaining how you can draw your compass or wing data in AutoCAD, or how you can plot your traverse in AutoCAD. So firstly, before plotting your data, we need to have certain data. Certain data we need to have our traverse length. So I have four surface stations, and I have my four traverse length A, B, B, C, C, D, D, A, and I have my four bearing, and it's not and this is my corrected four bearing, which is free from local attraction. And next I need to subtract 90 degree from each and every four bearing. In the later part of the video, I'll explain why I have subtracted this 90 degree. So firstly, we need this data traverse length, four bearing, and subtract 90 degree from each and every four bearing. So after doing this, we can move on to our CAD drawing. So firstly, I'll be turning off the grid mode. So firstly, I need to set the units. Select UN. Next, I'll be setting my precision of 0.000. I'll move on to meters. I'll type my angle as degree minute second. My precision is going to be the third precision of degree minute seconds, and I'll check on the clockwise box on and click on OK. So after this, my units has been set. Now next, I'll be entering the command limits. And firstly, it tells me to specify the lower corner. I'll specify the lower corner as 0 tab 0, and for my upper right corner, I'll specify this as 60 tab 42. Click on enter. Next, I'll be pressing J, enter, A, enter. So what I've basically done by setting the limit is I have zoomed my screen into a certain section, certain required section, so my drawing will appear larger and easy to work on. So firstly, before doing any drawing, we will create the marking of our survey stations. So firstly, what you need to do is select the command p line. And first it tells me to specify start point. Specify any start point on the screen, and click on width over here, and specify starting width as 0, and specify your ending width as 0 0.3. 0 0.3 is going to be the ending width of your arrow. After that, click on length. Click on length, and you can specify length, and make sure you turn on ortho mode, and specify length as this much, and specify your required length. I can let me do it one more time. Click on P line, specify starting point as any point. Click on width, and specify your starting width as 0. Your ending width is going to be 0 0.3. And after that, you are going to pull your arrow in the direction which you want. So I need in downward direction, and I'm going to set my length, my arrow length, to about 0 0.8. 0 0.8. So you can do it roughly, you don't need like exact measurements. I'm just setting it to 0.815 for now. Next, what I need is the lower portion of my marking. Next, I'll be going into by layer, select 0.30 mark, and go into line weight settings, and make sure you check mark the display line weight options. Go back to line, and click on the endpoint, and select 1 meter, length of 1 meter. So after doing this, go back to line, and take this back to by layer, and we'll be creating an equalator triangle of dimension 0 0.6 into 0 0.6 into 0 0.6. 0 0.6. Click on enter. This time turn off your ortho mode, and 0 0.6. Click on tab XA bis degree, 120 degrees, 120 degrees, 120 D for degrees, and after clicking, then click on enter. Select this, click on J for join, and click on your triangle, click on copy selection, and move on to your geometric center. So in your while doing your CAD drawing, make sure you have turned your snap mode on. It will make your work very easier. And take this to the end point, and now we can delete this point. So what you need an extra is, go to your end point, and draw horizontal reference line. So going to be a horizontal reference line for drawing our four bearings. You can draw it of any lengths, any required lengths. So after doing this, click on select all these drawings, and go to a point over here. It says create a block, so click on it. Create a block. I'm going to name it as station, STATION, station for now. And click, now go into pick point. and select on your geometric center. So after doing this, click on OK. So what you need to do is we need to now, so this is going to be my now I need my first traverse length, which is of 14.353, 14.353. And so right now 14.353. Now let me explain you why I have subtracted 90 degree from each and every of my four bearings. So what happens in AutoCAD is all your angles are measured in a reference to a horizontal line, in reference to a horizontal line. So as you can see here, so with reference to this horizontal line, it is right now the screen is 0 degree, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. So as I move downward, the value increases, and it goes up to 180 degrees. 180 degrees, it goes up to 180 degrees. And when you move up, so let me just move over here. It has so its maximum value is 180 degrees. Above 180 degrees, it starts to decrease, because it measures the angle now in anti-clockwise direction. It measures my angle in different direction. So but the logic of four bearing is measured with reference to my horizontal line. With this north line, my four bearings are measured, which is with reference to a vertical axis. But in AutoCAD lines are measured only with reference to horizontal axis. So I need to subtract this much of an extra angle. So I need to subtract this much of an so I need to subtract this much of an extra angle, which is 90 degrees, so 90 degrees, and then I can have my correct four bearing. So that's why we need to subtract our 90 degrees, because of the reason that AutoCAD measures all my lines with respect to horizontal axis only, not with the reference to vertical axis on which the four bearing or back bearing works. So I'll move on to the center mark, and I'll move in the clockwise direction of this of my reference line, and enter my first traversal, which is 14.353. Click on enter, click on tab, and next I'll be entering my angle. Next I'll be entering my angle, which is 261 degree, 45 minutes. After that, this is my angle. So as you can see, I have entered my length of 261 degree, 45 minutes, and traverse length of 40.353. So this is my point AB. This is my point. This is my point AB. Now I'll again go into insert. I'll go into station, and I'll move on to this point. This is my going to be my B point, and again I will click on line. So let me see my traverse length, which is 9.22. 9.22 is my traverse length, and my four bearing minus 90 degrees is 161 degree 30 minutes. 161 degree 30 minutes. So I move on to my point B, go into line, select over here, and make sure I move downward, and I'll enter my length of 9.222. Click on tab, and 161 degree 30 minutes, 161 degree 30 minutes, and done. This is going to be my point C, and I'll go into insert station and go back here. This is going to be my point C. I need to place the station at the exactly at the end point, and I'll be again going over here, and make sure I click on the geometric center in the intersection point. After the center point, I need to click over here with the reference to the horizontal axis, and move downward. Make sure you move downward, and let me see my CD. My traverse length is 10.843, and I have my four bearing minus 90 degree, which is 103 degree 45 minutes. So I'll move on to my point A, B, C. This is my point C. Go over here and select the and make sure I move in the clockwise direction of the horizontal axis, and I'll enter my traverse length of 10.843. 10.843. Don't click on enter, make sure you click on tab, because you need to enter the value of your four bearing as well. And I'll enter my value of four bearing as 103 degree 45 minutes. And again I'll go into insert. I'll insert the station at point D. Done. And for my final line, my traverse length is of 12.988, and I need to insert 3 degrees. 12.988 and 3 degrees. You need to enter all this value according to your requirements, and according to your measurements of your compass from your compass surface. 12.988. I'm again repeating. Click on tab, not on enter. Tab 3 and D for degree. Enter. So as you can see, I have drawn my traverse, but my traverse is not closed. So here is so let me select a red line. I'll be selecting a line, and let me select these 2 points. So this is my closing error. I've already created on video on what is closing error and how it can be solved by using Bowditch graphical method. I will link that video in the description box below. I will highly recommend you to check that video before moving on further on this video. It will highly help you to understand the process of the further process. So this is my closing error. So let me go into clip utilities, select a measure and select distance. Let me just quickly measure the value, and it has a value of 0.417. 0.417 0.417, that is my closing error. So in order to solve this closing error, so let me go on to line, and let me move on downward. Make sure you're on ortho mode, and I'll be selecting over here, and let me okay, I need black line, not red line. I'll be performing with black line. Move downward, move downward, and move downward, and move downward. So we need to move so select a point downward, any point over here, and firstly enter your length of point AB, length of enter your AB length, which is 14.353. 14.353 for my data. You need to enter it according to yours. 14.353 AB. Now I need to move on to point BC. This is my point AB. My point BC has length of 9.22, 9.222. Click on enter, and move downward, and I'll move on to point BC. I'll move on to point BC, which is 10.843. 10.843, and make a marking. So as you can see, in every point I have made a marking downward, so it will be easier for me. So it will be easier for me to mark the stations later on. So my final point, DA dash, which has a length of 12.988. So I have done nothing. I have just plotted all these towers length in a straight horizontal axis. So next, what we're doing is, I'll be selecting this closing error, right click on it, and click on the command copy selection, and move on to this endpoint, intersection point, and copy it to the endpoint. Turn off ortho mode, and simply paste it over here. Next, click on line command, move on to your first A point, and join these 2 points. Join your first and last point. Join your first and last point. Now what we'll be doing is set this closing error. Select this closing error. Click on right click it. Click on copy selection. Next, turn on the ortho mode, and simply paste it at your every marked point. Over here, it's going to be my second point, and it's going to be my final point. Make sure this is going to be my final point, and make sure you mark them. Next, what you need to do is click on the trim command, select this upper portion of your triangle, right click on it, and delete all these portions which are coming upward, which are outside of this mark points. Make sure you delete them. So after you have done this, so this is my point A, this is my point B. Go to this person, right click on it, click on copy selection, select this upper point, and move on to your point B. Turn off ortho mode, move on to your point B, and place it right at the intersection. Done. And move on to your point C. Click on this red person, click on your adjustment, click on copy selection, move on to the upper person, and move on to your point C. Move on to your point C, and for your final point, and move to your point D. Click on it, right click on it, click on copy selection, and click on it, and place it exactly over here, and place it over here. So after you are done with this, what you need to do is select all these lines, firstly select all these lines, going to by layer, click on other. We're going to use a different line, different layer for this, and set the global scale factor to about 0.25. Click on OK. Okay, we need to do it one more time. Select these lines, select this line, and going to by layer and select this line. So this is going to be my symbol for my open traverse, or this is my incorrect traverse. Now I can remove this red line, red closing error. I don't need this, anymore. So after this has been done, I need to join my correct traverse. So I'll start with my point B. uh, so I'll be using so just move, so make sure you move at the end points of your red lines. Click on it, click on it and move to your second point, which is this point. I have used red color specifically so that you don't get confused between the closing error and the horizontal axis which we have drawn previously. Make sure you click onto your adjustment, not onto your horizontal axis. This is going to be my third point, and I'll end it at the intersection point, and end it where I begin, and right over here end it. And we can just select all these points again. We're not going to use any red colors, we're going to be using only black colors. So red color was just to make the work easier. I'll change it back to black. So I have drawn my correct traverse as well. So this is my correct traverse. I've already done my correct close traverse. Next, correct close traverse. So as you can see right over here, I've already solved it by Bowditch graphical method, but you can see the solution by Bowditch graphical method is quite small by this method. This method is easier to plot, easier to understand, but it is really small. So I'll be doing this again. So let me just move down over here, enter my turn on ortho mode, and enter my first length of, again I'll be doing the same process again, 14.353. Enter, make a small mark, click on line again. I'll explain why I'm doing it again after I'm done. 9.222. Enter, click on line, go for my point C, which is 10.843. 10.843. Click on enter, click on down, and you will see my final point, which is 12.988. 12.988. Click on enter, and click on enter. So I have right now forgotten my value of closing error. Let me measure it again. So my closing error had the value of 0.417. I'll go into line, go into the endpoint, and I'll draw a straight line of 0.417. If you are not understanding how this process is done or why this process is done, I will highly recommend you to check the video in the description box below. You'll be clear regarding why this process is done. Turn off ortho mode and click the first and last point. After that, click this point, click on copy selection, make sure you turn on uh, ortho mode, and select this base point as the end point, and just move on to your all the station marks this way, and move to your point B as well, and select the trim command, select this upper triangle, right click your mouse, and just delete all these lines. You won't be requiring them. So why I've done this Bowditch graphical method again is, as you can see here, by the inclined method, it is easier to plot your drawings, and it is easier to understand, but it is very small. So we'll be again using a scale of 1 is to 150, 1 is to 100, or 1 is to 200, according to your requirements, to fit in the A3 size paper. And this drawing is going to be really small in your paper and not presentable at all. So to make it look more presentable, I did it again by following another method. So as you can see clearly the difference of how much more presentable and how much bigger this is. So let me just simply delete this. I won't be needing this. Click on delete. So let me select this. right click on it and let me move it little bit upward. Okay, let me move it upward. So next what I'll be doing is naming all the points. So let me just uh, let me specify the text height as 0.8. Enter. I'm going to set the rotation to 0 degrees. I don't need any rotations, and let me keep the name first point as A. So my first point A. Let me move it to my appropriate point. Turn off ortho mode, and over here. Next, you click on it. Click on copy selection. Turn on ortho mode, and just move to the right side of your drawing. It's going to be my point B, point C. This is going to be my point D. This is going to be my point A dash. So double click on it. B. This is going to be my point C, and then this is going to be my point D, and this is going to be my point A dash. Click on it and let me mark my point A dash. A dash, and I'm going into dimension. So dimension. So firstly, I'll press the command dim. Uh, dim style. Going to dim style, so we'll be adjusting our dimensions firstly. Going to modify firstly select going to primary units and set the precision to triple zeros, and going to angular dimensions, select degree minutes seconds, and my precision is going to be degree minutes. um, Degree minutes. Next I'll go into symbols and arrows, and I'll select my arrow size, increase my arrow size from 0.18 to 0.6, and I'll go into text and increase my text height from 0.18 to 0.8, and click on OK and click on close. After this has been done, I'll be selecting dimension. I'll move on from point A to my point B. So this is why the marking has been done. The work is really easier now. Again, go into dimension. Now go from your point B to your point C and go into 2 and move it downward in such a way that your arrows get bisected, get are coincides in the same point. Go back to dimension. Go back to point C to point D, which is 10.843. Same process. Again dimension, D point, select your D point and move it till A dash 12.988. Enter. Again dimension. Now I'll be measuring my closing error as well. Select the down and up portion. This way 0.417 and move it to the left. I'll be doing it again at this point. Select your down and up portion and move it to the left. 0.303. Again move to and move to. We'll be doing this for point C as well. Down, up, left. Dimension. Go for your B point. Down, up, left. So this is point B. So we have completed dimensioning, and let me select my point A. Click on copy selection, and I'll be showing my point and I'll be showing my point ABC in my traverse as well. So it's going to be my point A. I'll select my point B. Right click copy selection, and I'll move it to my point B. I'll go into my point C, right click copy selection C, and let me move it to point C, and let me go into point D, right click copy selection, and I'll move it to my point D, and finally my point A dash also I'll be copying it to my point A dash. Here is my point A dash right over here at the intersection. So this way I have completed my drawing. So I need to do dimensioning over here as well. So before doing dimensioning, what you need to do is go into insert, select station, and keep your station mark over here, and select this point and click on explode. EXPLOD. We can type in X, and after explode has been done, remove this horizontal axis. Click this horizontal axis and click on delete. We don't need this horizontal axis anymore. So next what we'll be doing is we'll go so as you can see, all our station marking are now in our incorrect points. They are in our incorrect traverse. We don't we need to change them into our correct traverse. We need to change the station marks from incorrect to correct as well. So select all of them and click on delete. Now select this, select the triangle as well, click on copy selection, or you can create a block of this as well. You can go into create a block, and this time name it as correct station, STATION, correct station, STA. Okay, the name was a little bit incorrect. Let me name it. Okay, let me do it again. Select this and click over, select your drawing and click over here, create a block, and I'm going to name it as correct station, CORRECT station, and go for pick point and specify the pick point as this end point or this geometric center and click on OK. So after this has been done, going to insert, go for a correct station. Okay, this, go for a correct station, click on it and put it at the your correct station, which is and put it at your correct station, and your correct station is your intersection of the non-dotted lines. Non-dotted lines, make sure you click on the non-dotted lines. Do this for every point. The non-dotted points, not the dotted points, the non-dotted points. We will be doing this for our point D as well. Okay, okay, this was a little bit of mistake. This is not at my exact point. Insert correct station and right over here. So we are doing this so that we can do our dimensioning easily. So let me just delete this and delete this more. Go into dimension. I'll be measuring my each and every point from now from my dimensions, from my correct stations. 13 14.316. So as you can see, previously my AB was 14.353, but my correct dimension is 14.316. I need to and do this for your each and every point. So I'll be doing this for my point BC as well. Select this point over here, move it to over here, and 9.510. You need to do this for your each and every point. So you can and place it at an required place it at your required point. So I want to explain, you can do this similar for all your sites. Let me do this for my final site DA as well. 15.102, and I can mark my closing error as well, which is 0.417. 0.4. So I have shown my closing error as well. And next what I can do is I can even show my I can even show my correct angular bearings as well. So that for that, go over here, click on angular, or simply click over here, and what you need to do is click on right click. You need to right click on your mouse, and it tells you to specify angle vertex, and you need to click on click on your node, or you need to click at the endpoint of your endpoint of this arrow. Click on your node, and it tells you to specify first angle at point, first angle in point. First angle in point is going to be this portion of your triangle, or proportion of a triangle, and your second specify second angle at point is going to be any point on your corrected traverse. So click on it, and you will get your corrected bearing of 251 degree 16 minutes. So as you can see, my previous bearing of BC, was 251 degree 30 minutes, but my but the bearing of my closed traverse is 251 degree 16 minutes. So that's the difference. So you need to repeat this for all your points. I'll be doing this at my D point as well. So Firstly, click on angular dimension, right click on your mouse, click at this endpoint where it says node. Click specify the first angle point as the upper part of your triangle, and specify your second angle point as your correct as any point on your correct traverse. So so according to your requirements, you can put it anywhere. 93 degree 8 minutes. So similarly, my DA was 93 degree previously 4 bearing, but now my corrected bearing is 93 degree 8 minutes. So you can do this for your A and C point as well. I won't be explaining that part of the video. So what you can do is you can select A, copy selection. Let me put a name as well. Double click on it and just write by solution by Bowditch uh, graphical graphical method. Bowditch graphical method. Click on enter, and after you have done this, what you can do is you can click on your closed hours. Make sure you click on all your closed hours, and right click on copy selection and turn on ortho mode, and simply move it to the right at any distance. So so next, going to insert, going to correct station, not in the correct station, going to station will be not the correct station. Will enter the mark of will enter the mark of station only, not the correct station. So put it at any 2 points. So what I'm doing next is in my uh, in my CAD drawing, I need to plot a certain person. I need to mark a certain mark inside of this inside of this traverse. So let me show you over here. So I need to mark a cross, or I need to mark a stone mark, which is at a distance of 7.902 meter, and at an angle of 151 degree 30 minutes at a clockwise angle from point C, and which is at a distance of 6.628 degree and an anti-clockwise degree of 300 degree 27 minutes. So in order to do that, what I'll move on to my point C. So let me mark my point as well. It's my point C. Let me just copy them. Right click on copy and simply copy them to my point. So I'm going to my point C, and it's going to be my point D, A, B. Let me quickly rename them. D, A, and this is B. So from my point C, I need to make a stone marking of 7.90, which is at a distance of 7.902 meters, and it is at a clockwise angle of 155 degree 30 minutes. So explain so as I have already explained before, because of the same logic, I need to subtract 90 degrees, in this case as well. So I need to make the marking of 7.902. I need to enter my distance of 7.902. Click on tab, and I'll enter my clockwise angle of 65 degree. So 65 degree 30 minutes. So done. So this is my stone mark from point C. So from point D, you can do the same step, but I'll be just simply joining it for now. You can follow the same step, which is at certain length or certain angle, and select this point. Click on copy selection and move it over here at this point, and double click on it, and this is going to be my mark for stone mark. And you can do this for any mark, or for any interior towers to be done. You can follow this same steps. So let me go into dimension. So this is my dimension of 7.902 meter. I'm putting it over here, and I'll be putting my angular dimension as well. So I don't need this reference line, so I'll be doing the same process. I'll click on explode. I'll explode it, and I'll simply delete the horizontal axis. I'll go for angular dimension, right click, click on my intersection point, click on upper point on the triangle, and click on my length, click on the line of whose angle I need. Click on it and I'll get my angle of 155 degree 30 minutes. So you can do this same for your point D as well. In this way you can get your required point. So now to close this all, what you need to do is you need to select rectangle, uh, left click, click on dimension, and enter the dimension of 60, enter 38, enter, again enter, click and place your rectangle, click on move, and place it exactly over your drawing. So in this way you have completed your drawing. You can now for your nameplate, I'll be teaching how to draw a nameplate as well. So right now I'll be saying the dimensions of a nameplate according to scale of 1 is to 150, 1 is to 150, 1 is to 150. If you're not going to be using that scale, you need to use your own, you need to use your own dimensions for your nameplate. So I'll select the endpoint, turn on the ortho mode, and I'll enter the length of 7.5, enter. From here I'll move horizontally or distance of 25.5, and I'll end it downward. And next what I'll be doing is I'll select the command div. I'll select this portion and I'll enter the number of segments to be 5. Next I'll select the command p-type and I'll select this third person, and I'll be clicking on line command, and I'll be simply joining all these points. Repeat line. So after doing this, I can now, what I need to do is I need to select the line command again, and from this person I need to move to the right side. I need to move to the right side or distance of 10.5. Click on enter and move upward and end it. And from my right person I'll be doing the same. I'll move left on distance of 7.5, again 7.5, enter, and move upward and move up to the second point only. I'll go back to p-type and I'll select this. Okay, now I need to select the trim command again. I need to select this and this vertical points, and I'll right click and I'll be simply deleting this. Now you can I've created name my nameplate, and now you can enter your name, roll number, university name, etc. So let me show you my drawing. So you can put on the index marks, so on the north direction, and put on all your name, all times are in meters, degrees, minutes, and put on all your and do according to your requirements. And in this video I'll be teaching you how to preview as well. You can click on Control P, not a single sheet, and what you can do is select your paper, which is ISO A3 420 to 297. Click on window, and make sure you check the center of the plot. So this time I'll be using a dimension of 1 mm equals to 0.15 unit, and I'll be changing it to DWG equals to DWG DWG equals to PDF. uh, there has been some error. I'll be selecting ISO A3 420 to 297, and now I'll click on DWG to PDF, and I'll click on preview, click on continue. So This is how my drawing will look in a A3 size paper when I have printed. So if you want to know more about how preview is done and how preview is done, do comment down below. Do comment down below, and don't forget to give a thumbs up to the video if it was of any help to you, so you can end your drawing with all these index marks, not directions, etc, etc, seeing this. So if you have any queries, do comment down below, and if this video was of any help to you, please do subscribe the channel and share it as much as possible. It will mean the world to me. Thank you very much.